Meditation tip 153. Uncomfortable. Guys, try to notice in your experience today that being uncomfortable, although it feels like a dread and like the worst thing possible for you, it's the best way to shake up your programs. Because the uncomfortable is the ego, okay? Like that's the thing that doesn't want you to try new things, uh, just do things a different way, and just go to places where you wouldn't go, things like that, right? Obviously, if it's dangerous, then okay, like it's kind of like helping you. Don't go to the jungle at night and get mauled by a lion, right? Like that's just a, a helpful thing to not do, but that's just intelligence, okay? The other stuff, like you going and feeling embarrassed because maybe you just talked to a random person, right? Like your ego, and for most people, like some people are obviously comfortable and they could do that, and that's already their comfort, right? But for most people, it's like it's uncomfortable to just go to talk to a random person, right? So I tried a little experiment yesterday and I go and draw. I was at the mall yesterday. Sometimes I go to coffee shops and stuff, but I just started like asking people that came by that sat down, uh, should I continue drawing or should I quit? And I showed him my picture, right? And automatically that sparked up a conversation like, oh yeah, that's really cool, man. Um, and then you can talk to them for a second, like ask them some questions. Do you draw or whatever you do, right? So if you start doing that, you'll see that a lot of people like to connect because they feel like important when you do that, right? Like a lot of people are scared, but when someone talks to them, it's like, oh, it's like a shock, right? Especially since it's happening less and less because people are so consumed by their phones and stuff like that, right? So try this out because it's really powerful. And of course, like some people will think you're weird, maybe, like, okay, like, why is that guy doing? Leave me alone. Then whatever, they'll leave, right? And that's okay too. Like, that's that person, it's not you. So try it again, do an experiment and see how many people like react a certain way. And you'll see that like most people are very open and they kind of enjoy it. So try to do this in your life. Whatever you feel like is uncomfortable, start kind of trying to do it because that's your ego being scared of something and not uh, being used to it. So it's like afraid to try it, right? And mostly your mind will come up with a bunch of things that are going to happen if you try that thing. And that's the worst part, okay? So you have to really just make a decision. If it feels uncomfortable, try to put yourself out there, go to that place at least once and just try it without letting your mind take over and like get you to stop or leave because you're scared. Just do it and see what happens. The worst thing that could happen is a bunch of people think that you're weird or something. That's it. Otherwise, it's you just making up all these stories in your head, like what's gonna happen, like how you're gonna trip and fall in front of people, or I don't know, like so many things like that, right? So try today and try to notice what makes you uncomfortable and try to push your ego to do that thing if it's safe, obviously, okay? So check that out for your own self, okay? And try to have an experience of it for yourself too. Okay, guys, like this video, subscribe to my channel, and peace.